I think you'll see that the Labour Party delivered the Good Friday Agreement. That actually ended armed civil conflict in Northern Ireland. And don't forget, Kay, that we delivered the Good Friday Agreement in 11 months. This government has spent 2 years rowing and talking and trying to negotiate to try and just restore some of the trade barriers put forward within the United Kingdom by the previous deal. Now we have progress, but just remember what that progress is. You can now buy the same sausages in Belfast that you can in Birmingham or up in Scotland. That's what's been restored by this deal, because the previous deal put barriers in so you couldn't actually buy sausages in Northern Ireland. So it's good that we've made progress. Now all eyes turn to the politics of the situation. I hope the DUP have all the space in the world they need at the moment so that they can assess this deal, see it working in action, ask any questions, address any concerns that they might have, because the real imperative now is getting devolved government up and running in Northern Ireland.
You know better than most. If the DUP does not accept this deal, is it dead in the water?
I think it would be very difficult for this deal to become a success. Now, the deal can get through Parliament because the Labour Party will support, provide the votes to do so, to stabilise.
No.
So we will be supporting this deal.
OK.
But that's the deal getting through onto statute. The next challenge is whether the deal can be made to work. And it'll be very difficult for the deal to work if you don't have a devolved government up and running in Northern Ireland. So the Assembly and the Executive, both of which need the DUP to go in and act within it. So I think the government, the government here, Rishi Sunak, has got a big political challenge ahead, because don't forget that the devolution collapsed, the DUP withdrew because of neglect from Westminster, because they were ignored when their concerns were raised from within the administration. Once they pulled out, they were rewarded with being engaged with, and they had power in this process. Now, what they are going to be judging is, will we have more influence if we go back into Stormont, or will we have more influence if we remain outside? That's the trick that Rishi Sunak now has, is to reward functional behaviour within Stormont.
So, does the DUP still have the whip hand?
It does. Yeah, of course it does.
Because the Foreign Secretary wouldn't say that they did. No,
they do. But let's just be clear again. We will make sure that this deal can become law in the UK. We will make sure, the Labour Party, that it can become a deal that's signed by the UK government.
The Assembly's not assisting. That's not helping Northern Ireland, which is then not helping.
Precisely. Yeah. But the next challenge is to be making the deal a success. And in order for this deal to become a success, then devolved government needs to be restored in Northern Ireland. That needs the DUP to go back in.
What percentage success are you giving that?
I wouldn't do so at the moment, because I think part of the problem is that, with regard to Northern Ireland, we're always jumping one step ahead. What we need to do is focus on the moment we have before us. We have an incredible window of opportunity to get things up and running. We've got a deal which takes us forward. We have the opportunity to get devolution up and running again. So let's focus on what we have before us. Quite often things fail because people ask questions about possible outcomes. We focus on the possible outcomes, which makes the negative more likely to happen.
Yeah, but we've got a US president who wants to come over to celebrate the anniversary of the Good Friday Agreement. He's not going to come if this deal's not gone through.
No, look, Kay, I agree with you. Which is why we were saying this needs to be nailed down a long time ago. It took 11 months to negotiate the Good Friday Agreement. It's taken 2 years to negotiate out some of the problems baked in by the previous deal that Rishi Sunak voted for. So it should never have taken this long. That's what the Labour Party was saying all the way through. That's why Keir was saying a long time ago, get the compromise, get the negotiations, get talking and end the rowing, and we can get this over the line.
Okay.
Rishi Sunak has proved that's possible. The question is, why did he try and do this a long time ago?
A subject that is very close to my heart and to lots of our viewers this morning, a new action plan supporting the well-being of staff going through the menopause. I was reading that 10% of women leave their jobs because they don't have the support they need during the menopause. 10%, 900,000 women a year. What's that all about?
Well, yes, but also this is a pressing issue because now the largest number of people in the workforce are going to be women in their 50s, and it's the biggest growing part of our workforce.
More experienced, I like to call us, rather than older.
Yes, I agree. And I think actually, Kate, you do demonstrate in that, because I was texting friends earlier saying I'm about to be burly. So, but yes, but it needs to be taken seriously. And now Annalise Dodds from the Labour Party has announced our policy on it, which would require any business who has more than 250 employees to have a menopause action plan.
Good.
So it just means that they need to tailor plans within their own specific workplaces. So there's not one size fits all, But each workplace, because some of them, for example, will require uniforms, perhaps those uniforms need to be adapted in certain circumstances. Other places will work in a temperature-regulated environment. Perhaps they need to think of that as well. So all these different things can be applied in different ways, but every business over the size of 250 employees will be required to actually have that plan in place.
That's right. It's always so icy in here, and it's not just the questions. It's good to see. I'm glad to know that I'm a verb. It's good to see you. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Thank you.